Okay, so when you're like trying to sign up for something new online, maybe a new app
Hmm.
for work or whatever, and then suddenly, bam, you get hit with this massive wall of text. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's this dreaded terms of service updates. Ugh. Pages and pages of legal jargon. I don't know about you, but most of the time, I just click accept and hope for the best, like I'm sure most of us do. But it really got me thinking, what about those platforms where we share our professional lives, our LinkedIn profiles, for example? I mean, they're basically gold mines of data, and it turns out LinkedIn has actually been putting all that data to work in the world of artificial intelligence,
Oh,
AI for short.
right.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, how LinkedIn is using your data to power its AI and what it all means for you.
Yeah, so LinkedIn is really getting into this whole AI game, especially with this thing called generative AI.
Okay, generative AI, what exactly is that?
So think of it like the technology behind those AI writing assistants everyone's talking about, or even those chatbots that almost seem human.
Oh, right, okay.
But here's the thing, it's actually stirred up a lot of controversy because some users feel like LinkedIn hasn't been super upfront about automatically opting them into this whole data for AI thing.
Interesting. So wait, it's one thing for LinkedIn to like suggest new connections for me, but now their AI is writing our posts for us. What's the issue here?
Yeah, so a lot of people are pretty upset. And to really understand why, we need to understand how LinkedIn actually uses our data to train these AI models. I mean, think about it. All those posts you've written, articles you've shared, even just the people you're connected with, that's all really valuable information that feeds into these AI systems. They use it to learn about professional trends,
Yeah.
writing styles, even networking patterns. They're using something called the Azure OpenAI
How's
search.
your OpenAI service?
Yeah, it's really just a fancy way of saying they're using powerful AI technology.
Okay, so they're basically using all of our combined career experiences to build out their AI. It's kind of cool in a way, but also a little creepy.
Yeah, and this whole automatic opt-in thing is a big part of the problem.
Okay, so you keep saying automatic opt-in. Can you
Yeah.
break that down for me? What does that even mean?
Sure. Automatic opt-in basically means that unless you go into your settings and specifically change it, you're automatically part of any program that uses your data,
Oh, wow.
in this case.
Hmm.
It's for training LinkedIn's AI. The problem is most people don't even realize these settings exist, or they don't really understand what it means to have their data used this way.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like people are really concerned about not having control over their information, and rightfully so,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to our professional lives.
Right? Exactly.
So
Yeah, big deal.
it's like we're handing over this super valuable thing
Yeah.
without even knowing it. So what can we do about it? Is there a way to like opt out, tell LinkedIn, hey, keep my data out of your AI?
Yeah, thankfully there is.
Okay.
LinkedIn does give you the option to opt out.
Okay, so how do we do it?
If you're on your desktop, go ahead and click on your profile picture, then go to Settings and Privacy, then Data Privacy, and look for Data for Generative AI Improvement.
Data for generative AI improvement.
Yep, that's the one. Just toggle that switch off.
Got it.
On the app, it's pretty similar. Go to your profile, then Settings, Data Privacy, and you'll find the same Data for Generative AI Improvement option there too.
Okay, great. So I found it, switched it off. That means LinkedIn can't use my data to train its AI anymore, right?
Well, there's a slight catch.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Opting out only applies to new data LinkedIn collects. Like from this point forward, any data they got before you opted out, they can still use that for their AI training.
So it's not a total clean slate.
Not really, no.
It's kind of unsettling.
It is a little frustrating. And it kind of highlights a much bigger issue with data privacy. Even when platforms give us these opt-out options, how much control do we really have over data that's already been collected? Often without us even realizing it. This whole LinkedIn thing, it's really just the tip of the iceberg.
So true. It feels like every app and website is using our data these days.
It really does.
And it's usually to train some kind of AI.
Exactly.
So what do we do?
I think the most important thing is to be informed.
Informed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know reading those privacy policies can feel like a total chore,
Oh, tell me about it.
but they actually do matter.
Go.
We have to understand what we're actually agreeing to.
Right, like what we're signing away.
When we hit that accept button,
Yeah, it's like we're giving away a piece of ourselves.
it's true.
Our digital selves.
It's our digital footprint.
Exactly. And that data is valuable.
It really is.
And these companies know it.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when we pay for a service like LinkedIn Premium,
Right.
our data is still being used.
Exactly.
It's like that saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
That's a good one.
But it feels like even when we are paying,
Yeah.
we're still the product.
That's true.
So knowledge is power in these situations.
Absolutely.
But we do have some legal backup procedures. I always hear about GDPR and CCPA, but I honestly have no idea what they are, what they do.
You're right. GDPR and CCPA are super important in the world of data privacy.
Okay.
Basically, they're regulations. GDPR is in Europe, and CCPA is in California.
Okay.
And they're designed to give users more control over their personal data.
So they're like our digital guardians.
Kind of. I mean, they're not perfect, and actually enforcing them can be really complicated.
Right.
But they are a step towards greater transparency and giving users more rights when it comes to their data.
So that's a good thing.
Definitely.
It's kind of like we're entering this whole new world.
Yeah.
This whole new world of data privacy, especially with AI being such a big part of it now.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, if AI is being trained on all this data about us, like our professional lives, how we present ourselves online, what does that even mean for the future of our careers?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, are we going to have to become like masters of personal branding just to stand out to an algorithm?
Right.
Will our LinkedIn profiles actually become more important than our resumes?
Wow.
It's definitely a possibility. Think about it. AI is already being used by recruiters to scan resumes and identify potential candidates.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And as this technology gets even more advanced, it's not hard to imagine AI playing an even bigger role in how we network, how companies find people to hire, even how we shape our own career paths.
So basically,
Like LinkedIn is becoming this training ground for the AI that could shape our future careers.
wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. Okay, so for anyone listening right now who maybe like me, just clicked accept on those terms of service without even thinking twice. What's the one big takeaway here?
I think the most important thing is just being aware.
Aware.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Be aware of your digital footprint, your data,
Yeah.
especially your professional data. It's really valuable. And it's being used in ways that you might not realize. So take some time to actually understand how your data is being used. Explore those privacy settings.
Even though they're super confusing.
I know they can be a pain.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. And honestly, don't be afraid to ask questions.
Questions.
Like who to...
To the platforms themselves, to privacy experts, search for information online.
Okay.
The more informed we are as users, the better equipped we'll be to deal with this whole constantly changing digital world.
It's like we're taking back control of our digital destinies.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, this has been super interesting and honestly a little bit scary.
It's definitely eye-opening.
Totally. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll be back next week with a whole new topic to unpack.
Yeah.
Until then, happy networking, everyone, and stay curious.